Welcome into a new episode of the 3 Fever Point After podcast. And I was saying this all week last week because it felt like time and time again, you were right. I'm going to tell our viewers now, if you watch the point or listen to the Point After podcast on a Thursday, you'll be the smartest fan in the stands on a Friday. It seems to work out every time. I mean, you got it.
Don't lie to them like that, man. we can get lucky every now and then.
Yeah, Jeff Harper here with me, the Bossier offensive coordinator, the master prognosticator when it came to the last couple of weeks. You've been spot on, and I think obviously the game that most people were talking about after last Friday, a game that you said North DeSoto was going to go over there and beat West Monroe, and they did it, relatively convincingly.
Yeah, I mean, just checking my phone, I kept asking my wife after the game, what's the update on the North DeSoto game? And she goes, it's close. And I'm like, what does that mean? And then when I got out to the parking lot, I noticed that, they were up 10. So, I mean, to go on the road and beat 5A power like that in their backyard is impressive.
Yep. And they lost in Stonewall to West Monroe last year, and it really wasn't close.
Yeah. Well, it's a different team. Yeah. I mean, and Kenny Thomas toting the rock.
He
can go, man. He's legit.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. And they had that big lead. West Monroe kind of fought back in that fourth quarter. I mean, there was just no doubt. And I mean, you look now, they've got Northwood. Northwood has also looked very good. It's not going to be our game of the week. We'll talk about our game of the week in a minute, but we're going to kind of do 2 games of the week this week. Sure. Madeline, our star photographer, she's going to follow that full game out there in Blanchard as if, same way that Daniel does for his games. But, Northwood, they look great against Mansfield. What do we think about this matchup? I mean, obviously it's so much talk around it as we get to it. One of the biggest rivalries in our area. It could very well be a district championship type game.
I mean, just from a 1-4A perspective, if you're asking me, is there anybody that's going to challenge these two teams? I would say these are the 2 top teams, with Menon and Loyola being right there, fighting for that, 3rd and 4th spot. That's just my opinion. Yeah. I think North DeSoto is just got this laser-like focus right now. You see the highlights every week. They're winning in every phase of the game. They look really good in all phases of the game, and they've got a senior-led team that's their goal is to get back to the Dome. And so I do think that Northwood poses problems. Yeah. They're going to be well coached. They're really, really good in all 3 phases as well. And, you talk about an offensive-minded head coach and a defensive-minded head coach. Both like to run the ball. Yeah. Both have very similar schemes, and it's a very competitive ball game. This game is at Northwood, though, isn't it?
Blanchard.
Yeah. If you would have asked me this 2 weeks ago, I would have said it would have been a much closer ball game. But coming off the last 2 weeks where they get a win against Center, and then they get turned around and they go to West Monroe, and one of the hardest places to play in the state of Louisiana, and they win convincingly. I don't think a road game matters anymore with them. They've proven that they can beat anybody, neutral site, at home, doesn't matter. And I don't think that this is a game that's circled on their calendar. It's their rivalry game. So I think that it is going to be extremely competitive, but I think North DeSoto is just loaded this year.
Yeah,
and I think Northwood is too. But if you're asking me, if I had to pick, I would lean for the Griffins for sure.
And I'm there with you. The only thing that, that little bug in the back of my head buzzing is that now, and I could totally be remembering this wrong. Years do tend to blend together in my head. But didn't the year that North DeSoto made it to the Dome, didn't Northwood go to Stonewall and beat them by 1 point the last game of the year?
20-19.
Yes. Yeah. So
I think that's the same year.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% certain.
I'm almost positive because I remember we were rebuilding the studio. I was upstairs in our old studio, and I was watching on this little monitor, and I was trying to get a handle on it, and it was crazy. So, point being, in these type of games, these are high school kids we're talking about.
Yeah.
Anything can really happen. Those emotions are going wildly. The crowd is getting into it. It is going to be a special night regardless.
The one thing I really wouldn't want to see happen is officials get involved in the ball game. You know what I mean? There's always that game where the officials seem to be involved more than they should. And a game like this, you're hoping that I mean, the 2 games of the week that you've chosen are probably the 2 games where the best crews are going to.
Yeah, right.
So, you know, I think all things considered, it's going to be a very competitive game. Northwood is going to be, they're going to be able to run with them. They're going to be able to get in the box and stop the run. That, as far as athlete for athlete size, you know, all that, it's the same thing. I do think that North Dakota has just a little edge in the fact that they have tasted the Dome, and this is the last year with this senior group, and it's something that they really want. But, you know, you can't count Northwood out, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I say this every week. When it comes to a surprise game. I said it with North Webster last week. I would not be surprised if you look and that thing's tied in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
You know, and it comes down to 1 possession.
Yeah, and that would be great for us on TV. I think
Absolutely.
it'd be great for everyone in the stands. And you mentioned 2 things I wanted to go through. We'll start when you talked about the officials. Just kind of laughing to myself hearing that because we did have Jess on the bench warmers, and we got on the topic.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, diplomatic Jess on a Monday is like, oh, you know, the guys down here do a great job. They do a great job. We love it. I'm like, so you're not working on them on a Friday night? He's like, well, I'm not going to say that.
Until Jess sees the crew that's walking on the field, he's a diplomat.
Yep.
And then he realizes these guys hate me. And then all of a sudden it's just pure chaos.
Well, I won't say the name of the coach, but I had one a couple weeks ago. I was filming a game, and there was a mistake on the kickoff, and right away the coach to the ref, 0 for 1. We're 0 for 1 already. Here we go. It was just so good.
I can hear that now.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, you got to love it. And then you love to hear the other coaches, hey, no, calm down. It's just nothing like being on the sidelines. But you also mentioned North Webster, and they get the boot. They go to Minden. They get it done. Another blown lead for Minden. You were telling me off camera maybe some injuries, or they were missing some.
They were missing some. I was told, I don't know this for sure, but I was told that Minden had some guys out. I don't know if that really played a part in it.
Yeah.
But with it being 21-20 and it being, you know, a really close game, being a rivalry game, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was the first thing that I heard out of a few other coaches is Minden was missing some key pieces. So either way, you got to line up and play with what you got.
And a heck of a win for Christopher Wilson in those nights. And this is how you start to build, right? You have moments like this.
Win games you shouldn't win.
Right.
That's how that momentum starts to roll in your favor, right? And so we preach that with our guys. You know, you want to steal a game that you're not supposed to win. Everybody thinks that someone else is going to win, and you just circle it on the schedule that you're the W. You know, when they see your they see your logo on their schedule, they're expecting a win there. And so when you can, you know, you see Minden on the schedule and it's a big rivalry in parish game, and you go over there and you take the win, that's impressive.
Yeah, and look, you know, I think everyone around here, if you're involved in football, has come across Coach Wilson, and he's just an awesome dude.
Yeah.
And it's impossible to not root for him, and very happy to see him bring that boot home.
It's a big win.
Yeah, and you know what it means. Another big win was a Saturday. Green Oaks gets a win in the Soul Bowl. Really, I mean, I'm telling you, the Giants, I've shot a few of their games. They look pretty good.
They do, and we had some tape on them when they were playing I think they were playing North Caddo in a scrimmage game, and you know, we were really impressed with the athletes, and QB looked good, and so I thought, you know, they'd, you know, dropped a game already this year, and it just seemed to be, you know, trying to figure out how to win ball games, especially close ones. And then you look and you see they're playing BT, and BT's been blowing everybody out, you know, and it's 38-16. Rivalry games, you just never know how it's going to go. And so we get to play BT following a loss, and you know, they're coming off a loss too, and it's our homecoming. So it'll be interesting.
Interesting for sure. That'll be a good looking matchup. I like BT's jerseys as well.
I hope it's a good matchup.
Yeah, me too. We'll be there, of course. So going into this, well, we also wanted to mention our game of the week last week, except I just don't think it was very surprising. Haynesville, they took it to Homer. I mean, they're just on a different level.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I mean, that being the oldest high school rivalry in the state of Louisiana, you expect it to be, you know, a competitive game, but it didn't look like it was very competitive just by the score. I'm sure it had its moments, but
and Richie Casey,
Haynesville's loaded.
Yeah, Homer walked away with it. You know, Daniel talking to Coach Casey after the game, and he was saying, "Look, you know, this stinks. It's a rivalry. It hurts, but we like what we did out there. I mean, this is a Haynesville team.
Yeah, they're very good.
Right, and so you know, they're not going to see him again. They're in different classifications now, so I wouldn't write off Homer. I mean, this is the same
No.
Homer team that went to Houghton and got a win earlier this year.
They got to win week 1 at a 5A school. They're going to be a problem as they get into district.
Yeah, Haynesville's just
Yep.
awesome
Yep.
at that there. So, okay, so our game of the week this week, we decided to send Daniel. I don't think you can go wrong here. I think this is a 1 and 1A type of situation.
Yep.
But it is going to be Airline going to Evangel. Airline has looked business as usual so far this year. Evangel looks better than they did a year ago, clearly, right? I don't know. This is a tough one for me just because I feel like we still don't know a ton about both of these teams yet.
Yeah, I mean, the first 3 weeks of the season, you're trying to figure out who you want to be, right? And some teams like the North Desotos and the Northwoods, their identity is kind of set in stone. They know what they are. A team like Evangel, who's probably got new pieces on defense, and the defensive side of the ball was a struggle last year. They're trying to figure it out. Having a game against Bird where the game was close was kind of a shocker.
Yeah.
Bird poses a lot of problems offensively if you're not used to seeing the double wing. But when you get Airline against anyone in 1-5A, look at you, you're struggling, man.
What just happened?
You're on the struggle bus. You get Airline.
He puts me on camp.
He's drinking my water, by the way. Now you can keep it. It's got your mouth all over it.
I'll get you another one.
Yeah,
what is happening?
You're good. I think Airline, when they line up and play against Evangel, I think it's going to be a show of force. I think they're going to try to outscore them, and I think Scoggin has given his guys the talk this week that we've got to score every time we have the ball.
Right.
Not saying that Airline won't stop them. What I'm saying is, nobody stopped them yet, not even Neville, and so no one stopped Evangel yet. So I expect a high-scoring game, and I expect Scoggin is probably going to be drawing up plays in the dirt on the sidelines over there just to make sure that they punch it in every time they have the ball.
And a good matchup between LSU commits, right?
Yeah.
Pop, Kenny Darby. Pop looked incredible against Bird, and Bird is surprising 0-3. But man, this game it has the potential to be everything you want in a high school football game.
Yep.
You'd have to give the edge, and me at least, I would give the edge to Airline.
Yeah.
Just because of what we've seen. But man, it's just it. Of course, these have to be at the same week. You hope one of them's on a Thursday so they can both get that Daniel Brown camera work. But
I wish they were. I wish at least they're Thursday or Saturday. It'd be pretty cool.
But Madeline will get it done for us still. So yeah, game of the week going to be Airline at Evangel, and then I guess we'll go through some of these games here, and as we do every week. Starting right after that would be Benton at Captain Shreve. Thinking Shreve.
Yeah. I'm not picking against Shreve. I thought the Natchitoches Central game, it was close, right?
Yeah.
It was a 6-point ball game.
Yeah.
So they went on the road and got it done, and so that's a good win. And now they, I expect them to get another one this week.
I don't know what's going on with me right now.
Yeah.
But that's how we do this show. No cuts. This is the real deal.
It's not live, but yet it's
It
not edited.
basically is. No, we're not going to edit this thing. You're going to just listen to me struggle, and we'll be all right. This is a good example of playing through the pain.
That's why I bring water with me everywhere.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean,
being a pastor and having to do a lot of preaching and public speaking, once you start coughing, it doesn't stop.
did you ever see that SpongeBob episode where he's in Sandy's bubble with no water, and then she has to pitch her lemonade on the thing?
No.
That was what I was looking at that water. Gotta have it. Okay, so yeah, we both like Shreve against Benton. John Ehret at Bird.
Don't know anything about John
Neither
Ehret.
do I.
Bird has not won a game yet, so
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, they don't. I don't know.
What's John Ehret's record? Do you have it?
I believe they're 1-2 off the top of my head.
I'm pulling for the Jackets.
Yeah, me too. I mean, and look, you got to give it to those fans. And this is what I'll say about Bird. And everyone's going to have struggles. You're going to have tough seasons. The Hive is unbelievable. Those students, they're so knowledgeable about the game. And even in that game last week against Evangel where things really weren't going their way, Pop Houston had that 80-yard score. Defense is coming to the bench, head down. I mean, they're not feeling good, obviously. And you could – the students had something on the board like, hey, let's pick them up.
Yeah.
And they got cheering for them. And you love to see that, especially in high school, right? Kids are kids, but
they could flip it and be the other way,
and we've seen that plenty of times too. Let's be honest.
Be hateful, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, good on them, and we are pulling for the Jackets to get that first win. Huntington at Houghton. The Raiders, I think.
What, you don't have any confidence in your Bucks?
I do.
What happened, man?
I love the Bucks, of course.
Let's talk about last week.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So I gave you the opportunity to have Parkway, so you didn't have to wear the hat. And then I turn on the news and you still have the hat on.
Yep.
I get it. Now it's just kind of in your psyche that Parkway's going to pull it out.
Well, I tell you,
I was at the game. I want you to know it was never competitive.
I know.
They went down the field and scored in 3 plays, and after that, it was an absolute dumpster fire.
I know.
And it's not that they weren't trying to throw stuff out there and figure out what works. It just, Parkway had their number.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where you kind of like, I was sitting there with Gary Smith, head coach of Bossier, and some of our other coaches were there. And we looked and we're like, oh, it's 38-7. All right, it's almost halftime. No, that was the end of the first quarter.
Yeah.
It was painful. But I've been on the other end of that as a coach. I'm just telling you, I've been on the other end of that. And in those moments, you really find out who you can rely on.
Correct.
When there's no chance of coming back to win, you figure out who can play, who wants to play, who's playing and playing hard the whole game, and then you can coach some things. You can make some corrections. So as bad as it was tough for the week 1 loss, and then to take it on the chin as they did on a Thursday night in front of everybody. Against Parkway, I think that they get to go back to the drawing board and figure out, all right, we've given this kid 3 opportunities, he can't play here anymore. Like it's a sad reality of the situation. And so I think that Halton will be competitive against Huntington. Huntington's going to have athletes all over the field. I do think that, are they playing at Huntington?
Yeah, at Halton.
At Halton, yeah. That's a bonus for Halton.
For sure.
So, I don't know how you pick this one, to be honest with you. Huntington scored a ton of points last week.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of where my mind goes. And Justin Whitaker has been very good.
Yeah. Here's the deal. Halton can't turn the ball over.
Right.
And they turned it over a lot.
Yep.
And so, that's a tough one. If you had to pull my arm, if we're picking this one.
Don't do it to me again.
I'm just telling you, I really think that the Sewell clan will get it together.
Yeah.
It's hard. Look, Between the Pines is a hard place to play. I don't care what anybody says. Record aside, it is just a different environment. And Halton's good. Halton's average, doesn't matter. And Halton could be bad. That doesn't matter. Between the Pines, it's just something about that place on a Friday night. And when you don't think that they're going to show up and be able to do something against a team, they shock you.
Yep.
Then again, when you expect them to do something, they, like week 1, you just never know. So I'm not going to pick against the Bucks. I'm going to go ahead and call the Bucks. I think they pull it out this week.
You made me think back in my senior year there when we still, Halton was still 4A, right? Playing Airline 5A, they were incredible that year. And beat them on an extra point late, and the crowd had so much to do with it. I mean, it was what a night. But and I do want to point out that I did not intentionally skip over Houghton and Parkway. Friday was just so wild. I kind of already blocked that out. I put the hat on. I did the thing.
Well, you had Thursday night. I mean, it didn't matter. So.
And I tell you, it is
people understand
a really nice hat.
Yeah.
That I got this year. I like how they changed it up. And it was funny. I texted Coy earlier in the week and said, hey, I know you got Thursday this week. I can put on one of the old hats. I mean, I've got 5, 6 of them at this point.
Yeah.
And he quickly replied, "No, I got another hat. We'll get you another." So there we go. I love Coy and everything.
Remember now, Halton's young.
Oh yeah.
Parkway is an older team.
Yeah, this is
This is going to flip at some point.
Exactly. It's high school athletics. This is how it goes. But and I do, and we're going to get down to Parkway in a minute, but we could kind of just go there now if you want. They host. Well, I guess that is the next game we're going to anyway. So Parkway hosts Natchitoches Central.
Natchitoches Central's going to score points.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. I think it's a shootout.
Yep. And Parkway's going to do the same. And what we see Antonio Gladney do night in and night out, he's something else.
Yeah, I mean he is a really good football player, and he can play lights out defense. He can play receiver. You can put him in the backfield. You can put him at QB,
right.
And he can play every position, as well as the guy that plays there normally. So Parkway is very lucky to have him and the Bernie kid outside, number 88.
Yeah.
He can really go too. So they're going to be a problem for anybody. But don't overlook Natchitoches Central. They have scored points in every game this year. I think it's been over 40 and I think it's over 43 straight weeks.
And shout out to Owen's dad. Mm-hmm. He sent me some plays.
Yeah.
And we put them on.
Yeah.
Why not?
Owen's going to spin it, man. So they've scored over 30 every game this year so far. So they're going to score points, and if they can get the stops, they can make it a ball game. But it's going to come down to whether or not they can stop Parkway.
And if you're out there listening, coach, parents in the stands, if you send me videos of plays and you get your phone and you go like this.
Landscape.
Not like this. This, 10 out of 10 times I'm going to use it.
You could use it, yeah.
Yeah, especially if it's a deciding play. I mean, something like that, because we just can't be everywhere, at the same time. So it is very helpful when people are able to do that. And as long as we can see it, we're good. You watch TV. How do you watch football all the time? From that camera way up there. So it's definitely usable stuff. But no, I did want to point this out about last week. Our top 5 plays, we had Braylon Huglon, Pop Houston, and Gladney in there. You love when the guys that you prop up make it happen for you on a Friday. It was cool to see all of them making plays, and I mean, Huglon has been really good for Calvary.
Well, that's a huge win for Calvary.
Yeah. Oh, it's massive. I mean we kind of glossed over that too. Franklin Parish was the number 1 team in 4A. Now it's North DeSoto. In Calvary, they're
figuring it out.
Exactly.
That's a young group.
Yeah.
It's a young group. A lot of new starters. Hudson Price, kid that I've had the pleasure of working with. He's special, and once he gets the reps, he's got 3 games under his belt now. I mean, you're talking about a kid that did not play a full football game, middle school and high school at quarterback, because they play both, right? So now he's getting full games under his belt. He's getting a lot thrown at him, and he's responding. And more that he gets comfortable, plus their schedule's really tough. They get in the district, watch out.
Yeah, and they go to Neville. They play them tough for 3 quarters. It kind of gets away from them late. This Calvary team, this is no rebuild situation here. That's not what.
And if they watch
Calvary.
the film, they'll realize 12 is an athlete.
Yeah.
Like, he can pull it down and outrun you in the secondary. Like, he can go, and he's got a rocket for an arm.
Yeah.
Great spin rate, throws a pretty ball, can make all the throws from the pocket, off platform, push to his right, to his left, pedaling back. Doesn't matter. He can be falling down and he can throw a strike. I mean, he's a special thrower. Like, really one of the better kids that I've had the pleasure of working with over the last 10 years. Like, he can really spin it.
And it makes your job a lot easier as a quarterback when you do have Huglon out there on both sides of the ball. 103-yard pick six. He's making huge catches. I mean, this kid, we got so many big names in our area.
Yep.
He's got to be one of them.
Oh, no, there's no doubt. And he doesn't go overlooked. Like, every week his name's being mentioned. You know what I mean? So Braylon Huglon's name will be on everybody's mind on Friday nights. If you just get an opportunity to watch a Calvary game, he stands out. He's one of those guys that you see making plays. So who does Calvary have this week?
They're at Darbon Woods.
Yeah.
The district play, we kind of know how this goes for Calvary.
Sorry for those teams in district.
Yeah, the Timberwolves. We love them, but tough out. Also, I'm all over the place today. I'm obviously was choking out there. I'm low on oxygen. I also glossed over Ruston and Longview. My goodness, did you see that one?
I didn't.
Oh man, I'm telling you, these 2 teams traded touchdowns all night. It gets to 35-35. Ruston has the ball. They actually break a huge run that gets them down, like, I think past the 10. But it was a craziest thing. There was a flag for block in the back, right? But that's a spot foul. The block in the back happened around the 10, pushes them back to the 25. Less than 2 minutes on the clock. Now, that gives them room.
Yeah.
What do? They run the clock out, kick the game-winning field goal. So that block in the back was actually a great move. That won the game.
Yeah.
Because the way that game was going, if they punched that in a couple of plays later, right? Longview probably goes right back down and scores. But then that block in the back sets them back. And
doesn't hurt them.
They were able to run it back, run the clock out, kick a field goal. It was a wild game.
Two well-coached teams.
Yeah.
Masters in their own way of managing games. It's impressive.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun. We had that. That was one of our stream games, and I was going wild watching it. We have all these different computers set up, recording all these streams, and that was the one. North DeSoto had it won, so we're like, we're going to Ruston now. It was really, really awesome. Let's see, we'll fly through. You mentioned you guys hosting Booker T for homecoming.
Yep.
Okay, Loyola at Southwood on a Thursday night. Loyola, or Southwood, 46 losses in a row, 2 wins in a row.
Mm-hmm.
This one's going to be a lot tougher to come by.
Yeah, and I'm happy for the Southwood Cowboys. I mean, it's, they're turning the thing around.
Yep.
And look, I've got buddies that coach over there. So, I want to see them win every game except when we play them next week. So, Loyola is also got everything rolling, and it's going to be a game where, Southwood's going to learn some things about their guys, and Loyola's going to do everything they can to hang 50 on them, and Southwood's going to do everything they can to keep that from happening. And so I think it'll be competitive. And I think that Southwood, if they can go out there and limit turnovers and play sound defense and score the ball when they got it, they can be in it. But Loyola's going to put pressure on you. They're going to throw it. They're going to screen you. Restovich, I think he was 14 of 17 for 300-something yards and 5 TDs Friday night against Cedar Creek. So, that's the one thing. Loyola's not going to take their foot off the gas, even if it frustrates you.
Oh, yeah.
If you feel like they're running up a score, it's not intentional. They're making sure they put you away. And I had this. If you can't stop them,
I'm with it.
Figure it out.
I'm with it.
People come to watch touchdowns.
Yes.
There's no gentleman's agreement that, hey, and I get it. I get it. Now, there's a time and a place for running up the score. If you're up 63-0 and you're scoring on a touchdown pass in a game 63-0 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
We're talking first half. I think first half's fair game.
That's different. But if it's 42-0 at halftime, I'm still putting the starters back in to start the second half.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that we finish well before I pull my guys
and
out. And Loyola's going to do that. Loyola's going to do that. North Dakota's going to do that. Northwood's going to do that. Parkway's going to do that. Airline's going to do it. Everybody that's really good offensively is going to make sure the game is won before they, pull people out. And so I do think that this week, Loyola is going to try to score as many points as they can, because with Southwood's athletes, you just never know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get hot and they start throwing it up and going up and getting it, and things can happen. So.
And I tell you, I love what Loyola's got going on right now. Yep. You can really see that identity taking shape in the team that they want to be with Coach Sella. Mm-hmm. And their defense is tough. Mason Drake just running people over. He had a crunch of the night. They're moving in the right direction.
They're a tough team.
Yeah.
They play hard.
Yeah.
And they're sound in all 3 phases of the game. So that makes it really tough. They make it tough on you that they don't make a lot of mistakes. And when they don't make mistakes and they score points, they're hard to beat. Yep,
100%. Okay, so we got Minden at Woodlawn, the Tide. We mentioned it earlier. Man, just two.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. 2
tough losses here. You let lead slip away at home. They come to Independence Stadium to face Woodlawn. Again,
if they have their players, I think that they're as good as anybody. Yeah. And that's just operating off information I've been told. If it's not that, and then I don't know what it is. I mean, they have. If you watch them, you see them on the hoof. They win the eyeball test.
Yep.
Listen to me. Over anybody.
Yeah, I know.
When they get off the bus and you see them, and you see another team in our district, North Dakota, Northwood, you're not sitting there just writing them off. Right. You're like, goodness gracious, they look better.
Yeah.
On the hoof, as football player bodies, like just big, fast, physical.
We said the same thing when we did our preview. We were like, okay.
They're freaks out there.
Yeah.
They got some really good-looking football players. But looks don't win games.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm not saying that about Minden. I'm saying that in general.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't know what to expect from Minden this week. In Woodlawn, they've played very well. They shocked the world and beat Green Oaks week 1, and then turn around and they absolutely boat race Lakeview.
Yeah.
And Lakeview's struggling. I mean, they're a young team and don't have a lot of depth, and so I don't know. We'll find out what type of team they are.
Look, I don't want people to think we're being harsh here. This is not college football. This is high school football. Minden's season is far from over. They can get hot. We've seen it a million times down the stretch.
Yeah.
And the Minden team we're going to see in week 10 is going to be vastly
Well, we talk good about them.
Right.
So if anybody listens to this and takes offense to they're not listening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're scratching our heads going 21-20. Doesn't make a lot of sense. 35-point lead week 1, I guess.
Right.
It was week 1.
To a 2A school.
To a 2A school, and they lose.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I mean, they could have beat them 70-0 based off of the first half, but it was the tale of 2 halves. So I think that they're trying to figure out who they want to be too. And if it is true they were missing players, that would make a lot of sense.
Yep.
I didn't hear an interview that week, post game or during the week or anything from Coach from Minden. So I don't know. Spencer Hurd's one of the good guys in the profession, and he does a really good job. He's been there a long time, and you go look at their facilities; they're incredible. And then you look at them on the hoof, and you watch them on film, and they're well coached. They have the athletes. It just doesn't make any sense. So anybody that would think that we are being harsh is not hearing what we're saying. We're not talking about their coaches. We're just saying, as two fans of the game and a high school football coach myself,
right.
We're not being critical of the players or the coaches. We expect them to go out there and roll people every week.
Yep.
And so it's just kind of a shocker when you see them struggle.
You look at that early schedule for them, 2 losses, you'd think no.
No, I expect them to be. When we play them, I always think that they're going to be 5-0, 5-1. Somewhere in there, 6-2. I think we play them like week 7 or week 8, so 5-2. I think they've got they have one of the big teams. I know they have Loyola before they play us, and I don't know if it's Northwood. I think Northwood or North Soda. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But they could easily be undefeated when they get to us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I put them in the conversation. It's North Dakota, Northwood, Minden. In my mind, in our district, it's those 3, and then I have 3A as Loyola. It's like whoever wins that game's really the number 3 team in our district. That's not being offensive to Booker T or Green or Woodlawn, Southwood, or even us. That's just based off of the talent they have and what I've seen on film and watched them play. That Minden is that good. They could be in the conversation, and any given night they could beat anybody in our district.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better, man. That's why we have you on.
I'm not trying to make people mad over Minden. So
I know, and that's it's so difficult, and we're getting on a tangent here, but it is tough to break down this stuff, without ruffling some feathers, right?
Look, if you're using our talking points as means of motivation in your locker room,
please do.
You have a bigger problem. Right? I mean, it's not like there's millions of people watching this, and I'm just being honest. It is what it is. And anybody that would think that we're, saying things that are derogatory toward a program, not listen to what we're saying.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
You hear what you want to hear.
You
know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter what we say. Yeah. If we don't talk about them, we're being offensive. If we talk about them, we're being offensive. So if we're talking about your team, it's a good thing.
Amen. That's got Coach.
Don't get me started.
I got Coach fired up. Here we go. I'm gonna start choking again. All right, let's do one more game. Speaking of that last matchup, Homer at North Webster. Suddenly, very interesting.
That's very interesting. Yeah. I can't pick this one either. I don't know. I mean, I think that Homer provides problems for anybody they play against because of the athletes they have. But North Webster's shown that they'll line up and run it down your throat and then stop you and play really good defense. And so I think it's going to be a good game. Yeah. I mean, I think that it's going to be competitive. And look, Minden's riding the high of a win. Homer's coming off a hard loss. You look at it like, okay, Homer wants to get back on the winning side of the ledger. I think that they can do that.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to pick against North Webster by any means. I just think that that's going to be a really intriguing. That game right there is, if we were keeping a tally of picks, this would be the hardest one of the week to pick.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
It's the hardest one to pick.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it really is. I don't know where it would be a flip of the coin.
Let's do it. Who you got?
North Webster.
I'll take Homer. Let's go Pels.
Okay.
Go Pels. Richie Casey. They're going to bounce back.
That way Coach Wilson can't say, man, Harper always picks against us. That's not it at all.
All right, so
I'm impressed with the win against Minden.
Yeah, it was really awesome. I mean, we said it earlier, but just it's the double-edged sword of what we're doing.
You want to hear my reasoning?
Go for it.
Minden plays Halton in a fall scrimmage.
Yep.
All I heard about is how good Minden looks.
Same.
Right? Homer goes and beats Halton week 1. Minden plays North Webster in a rivalry game. Minden supposedly beat Halton in that game, and then turns around and gets beat in a rivalry game to North Webster. And then, I could easily flip it and come back over here to Homer and say, hey, they just lost to their rival. Yep. They're going to be motivated. But you think Coach Wilson wants to let up at all that you just got the upper hand on a 4A powerhouse?
And beating Homer is also not bad.
That's a
not
tough
bad,
one.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, I'll take the Pelicans. I ain't scared. All right, so since we kind of went through all that and we got you a little fired up, sorry about that. I think I have an idea.
Yeah,
for a different segment we can do here.
Okay.
I'm going to pick a random Texas or Arkansas game.
All right.
And you can say whatever you want. But
If I know anything about it.
But even if you don't, you can make up stuff. I don't care.
Okay.
But let's just let's start doing Coach Harper's Texas Arkansas pick of the week, and let's start tracking it. Let's see how right you are. And I'm not giving you a Carthage. All right.
That's an easy one.
Yeah, you just pick Carthage every time and you'd be 100%. So I'm looking through our list, and I'm trying to find one that I would also not be as.
Jeez, man.
Okay, I think we'll start in Arkansas. All right. Who do we have in the matchup of Prescott and Falk?
Oh.
Do you know Prescott's nickname?
I used to.
It's a good one.
I used to, but I can't remember.
Curly Wolves.
Yeah. Prescott Curly Wolves. First of all, what's Falk? You know what Falk's?
I think Panthers. I think.
Yeah, well, that's random. Like that's not. I'm going with the Curly Wolves.
All right. All right. Let's see. I'm Googling.
I played college ball with a couple guys from Prescott High School, so that's pretty cool.
That's good. Okay, yeah, and it is the Panthers. I got that right.
I wouldn't normally go against the Panthers, but the Curly Wolves, it's really hard to go against.
Yeah,
that.
and I'm going to be honest with you. So Arkansas is tough for us, obviously, because it's really far away, right?
Yeah.
We have one photographer that actually lives up there. So we were able to get about one Arkansas game a week. It's tough to pick. So I haven't seen either of these two teams. That's why I picked it, because I'm kind of clueless with you. But Prescott's a good pick. So we'll
Curly Wolves.
We'll
go
remember
Curly
that.
Wolves.
We'll remember that next week. And I know upstairs Matt is getting really mad because Arkansas games are notoriously difficult to find final scores for. So he's going to be like, I got to find this one.
Poor guy.
So we're going to, and if you had an earpiece on like I did before this show started, then you would be okay with giving Matt a hard time, because that's why I started choking. Man, we're back to it. Okay, well, with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Coach, always a pleasure, my man. Any closing thoughts as we get ready for another week?
No, it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to some of these matchups, and I really want to see the outcome of the two games of the week that you have. And then that one, with Homer and Homer and North Webster, that's going to be a big one.
And that Prescott-Falk game, too.
Prescott and the Prescott Curly Wolves take down the Panthers.
Let's go.
Now.
Let's go. Coach, you're the man. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Point After Podcast.